What's going on, folks? Um, Unlike my videos where I'm unboxing the toys here, um, I am doing it with books. Well, it's not unboxing. I meant to do this one a while ago. Superman for All Seasons, Absolute Edition, Jeph Loeb Tim Sale. Put this back in print after Tim Sale sadly passed away. I always liked this story. I never owned this story, and I collect absolutes. So I've been collecting them for a long time. I lost count of how many I actually own now. Might be close to 30. Going back to the 2000s, when it was mostly a Wildstorm format. So here's the cover. Looks like they have a nice fabric around the slipcase, giving that old-timey feel. Spine looking dope. Really adds with this nice watercolor look treatment here. Let's try to open this up. Feels great. He's already probably gonna be one of my favorite ones and one of the best ones. Sometimes I usually don't even take all this plastic off. I just kind of sometimes just slit here, just still to slide out the book. But I got excited doing it on camera, so I guess I'll put this in the slipcase somewhere. Quotes, description. $100 not that bad for this. This book I think came out when I was still in college as a miniseries. Got art on the inside. Can't really see it because it's on the inside. Really great use of the art. This is coming back into around, I guess, in the zeitgeist since James Gunn's Superman film comes out next year, and this is one of the inspiring stories for the take of the character that's different from the last take, which is the DCEU Snyder version, or maybe even different from the television Superman and Lois, or even Smallville, even though it's probably stuff within Smallville that tie back to this as well. I have I don't know if I say love-hate, but I have a complicated relationship artistically, I guess, with Jeph Loeb's writing, because he's written some stories, written some stories that I care for. Like, Long Halloween, Dark Victory, this. But then he's done other things like Ultimates 3 and Ultimatum. Just things that are just not good. Just terrible. But when he was working with his boy Tim Sale, it was crafted marvelous. The artwork looks really nice. Even though it's glossy paper, it shows the color well. It's not too glossy. You see a lot of the texture from the washes and the line work. Nice big format. I see the tornado. I think they used that in the season finale of Smallville season 1. And they kind of used it poorly within Man of Steel. See, I always had great body language on his characters and the way he drew clothing. Unlike when he draws Batman stuff, there's a lot less deep, dark blacks. Also, we have Lex here, as he looked closer to the beginning of Byrne's Man of Steel. Balding, a little bit, red hair. Not the kind of slim-toned version of Lex that we get used to. and later interpretations, especially post Superman animated series. The great dynamic page. Oh, there we go. This my ribbon. Well, that's why I originally got into Absolute. I was like, it's comics with the ribbon in it, so you keep your place. I was like, oh, this is a fancy book. They're making fancy comic books. When I first saw Absolutes back when they first came out with Danger Girl, and I couldn't afford it. And then later, the Authority and Planetary and League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I got the Planetaries. I got one of the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I need to figure it out how to get Danger Girl in the first volume of the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. The classic Superman hovering over Lex's office. Like, keep my eye on you, buddy. Let's get to the back. See what extra features is here. Oh, I think they include that story after sadly Jeph Loeb, I think his son passed away. They seem to add that in there. I'll print out the postcard. Almost bought this version in 2014. Remember that? The big wizard buyer. Nice whole interview here. Full script. I think this is done for people who really appreciate the work, but also I think for people who maybe want to know more about the creation of certain, especially corporate comics. Because sometimes in the independent scene, people just write as they draw, which is a process that's then taken when they're scooped up by Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon and Disney to make television cartoons. Wow. Scans of the original art looks nice. Not as it is not it's not artist edition level, but that could kind of skew you or give you biases or make you like, oh man, makes the bar, raises the bar. This is still really good stuff to see this work this way. Nice collection of pages. See how maybe Scott Delmier can maybe put together an artist edition of this at one time in the future. Explanation of the coloring process, which is nice. More pages with script. Not a lot of description here in the scripting. Real trust here between the teams. Some layouts. Lettering layouts. Or lettering pass, maybe. Yeah, this is one I remember from when it first came out in a collection. More than 20, probably 25 years ago. Nice sketches. Oh, look, wonderful big double page spread. Good stuff. Really good book. Definitely worth looking up, finding, and purchasing. If you like spending $100 on a really big comic book or a collected edition. Somebody like me, yes. Probably find your store or whatever. They can get it for you. Spin out for a little bit. Maybe you can find some deals or something. But that's all I got. Not too long, hopefully. Wonderful Absolute Edition. Still probably my favorite format overall of hardcover for comics, especially superhero comics. So when I will splurge on with my ginormous, I don't know if it's ginormous, but I spend more on these than a lot of other people do. All right. Peace, y'all.